Good afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for the 30th of August, 2016. The tropics are very busy today, so let's jump right in. First of all, in the Central Pacific, Hurricane Madeline closing in on the Hawaiian Islands, and this could be a pretty close call here for bringing hurricane conditions to the region. This is the latest tracking map showing the cone of uncertainty with the center forecast positions right down the middle. The core of the hurricane passing very close to the southern tip of the big island of Hawaii. Hurricane warnings are in effect for the area, and it is just a hurricane watch now, hurricane warning eventually, tropical storm warning in effect as of right now. A lot going on, so bear with me. And then a tropical storm watch for the central portion of the island chain. This could be a pretty big impact event for the area. Heavy rain certainly makes perfect sense with a hurricane coming, right? Strong winds, increasing surf, all the impacts that you would expect. And with this potentially passing just to the south, it may not be as disrupted as we have had other systems become as they impact directly from the east. You remember the past couple of years, we've had some different tropical systems affecting this region. So if you're in the area, you live there or are visiting there, you need to take this very seriously, follow your local officials' advice, and of course you'll have plenty of tools to track this and keep up with the latest information in Hurricane Pro and HD. We also have Hurricane Lester off to the east, but that looks like it's going to go north of Hawaii, so we won't really worry about that too much. In the Gulf of Mexico, high ocean heat content for the most part. Some areas in here not as high, and then of course very high off the southeast coast relative to average anyway. A close-up of the Gulf shows that. Our depression located in this region, and then pretty decent upper ocean heat content values in the northeast Gulf. Nothing like what we have over the Caribbean, obviously, but this is enough. 28, 29, 30 degrees Celsius water temperatures along the surface, and then that warm water extends several tens of meters in some cases deep to provide that upper ocean heat content of very deep warm water. So if this does indeed intensify like it's forecast to do, it'll move across this area, tapping into that very warm water, undisturbed water from any other systems this year, and it has the potential to intensify. Looking out across the eastern Atlantic, we will certainly be watching this feature, Invest Area 92L. I don't see it doing much until it reaches over here between 55 and 60 degrees longitude. We got plenty of time to watch that for sure. The vorticity signature of our systems out here, there's 90. See, it's still stuck on the brain. TD number 9, TD number 8. There's Hurricane Gaston, headed out, of course. And then here's the energy coming off with that tropical wave. Plenty of time to monitor that. Basically, what the different modeling is indicating, upper level winds becoming a little bit more favorable over the Gulf. Wind shear not quite as strong over the system, still some dry air around, and you can see that even through here, this darker coloring. I'll take the telestration away and you can see that better, inhibiting development for now. But it looks like as it makes that turn up towards the northeast Gulf, conditions could become more favorable. It will be moving with the flow, more diffluent or spreading out of the air aloft, allowing for this to develop more efficiently. It could develop, and it might approach hurricane intensity. That would not surprise me. And my advice is for folks in the area of northeast Florida here to basically be preparing for a Category 1 hurricane. If you do that, then you should be ready. Obviously, the coastal storm surge problems are the most important. In fact, let me go back over here and go to the National Hurricane Center homepage, and let's take a look at some of the tools that you can tap into at home. You visit hurricanes with an s.gov or nhc.noaa.gov. If it'll pull up for me, that would be very helpful. Maybe it doesn't want to. It's probably pretty log jammed right now, so we'll skip that. On their homepage, when you click on TD number 9, there is an area on there that talks about storm surge flooding and the potential. They've got this great interactive new map that shows the potential storm surge flooding for northeast Florida, the northeast Gulf of Mexico, where this is expected to impact. Definitely take advantage of that. It's too bad my internet connection isn't working right now to show you, or I would. So check it out yourself, hurricanes.gov. tropical depression number 9. It's in that product area of all the different maps and advisories that they have. All right, so the GFS 12Z run valid Wednesday morning here. There's the depression in the Gulf of Mexico. Other areas of vorticity or energy in the atmosphere kind of competing for the energy all around this part of the Atlantic Basin. So that might be one reason why this system is still sort of struggling. 48 hours out, some of that energy starts to leave and take off this way, and our depression starts to strengthen. Surely by then it'll be a tropical storm. And then look what's coming out here in the middle of the Atlantic. We'll be watching that closely. Finally, at 72 hours, landfall here in the northeast Gulf area, the Big Bend area, Appalachia Bay, perhaps. And then it's over southeast Georgia, ready to exit the coast near Beaufort and perhaps Charleston, South Carolina. And then at 96 hours, it's fairly close to the North Carolina Outer Banks, looking fairly potent here on the 850 millibar chart. Something to really watch here. It's kind of getting squeezed between this area of high pressure and this big area of high pressure coming down out of Canada. And this might track pretty close to the mid-Atlantic states or the southeast coast. This is a trend we're going to have to see if it continues. A close-up look of this at 72 hours. I wanted to show you this. Here it is sitting over southeast Georgia, not too far to the northwest of Jacksonville. This is Friday morning at rush hour, basically, roughly rush hour, the end of rush hour. So it looks pretty intense here relative to what it has been in the 850 vorticity field, the 850 millibar level, and that's about 5,000 feet in the atmosphere. So you really need to take this seriously here along the coast of Florida. This could impact heavy rain, a good bet, 10 to 15 inches, the possibility of severe weather, tornadoes, downburst winds. This is not just well, it's no big deal. It's not a hurricane coming, not yet, but do not downplay the significance of this particular system. I'm going to see if the Hurricane Center page will open for me to try to show you that graphic. It's not. That's interesting that I can't get to the website. All my other stuff is working. Anyhow, so my best advice, National Hurricane Center homepage, maybe it's just not working for me. And then from there, your local National Weather Service pages at weather.gov, G-O-V. Put in your zip code, and once there's any watches and warnings, there will be hurricane local statements, and you can gather information on your local county warning area, not just a national forecast, but localized information written by your local weather forecast office. So a lot to tap into. I know there's a lot of noise out there, so to speak, with information all over the place. My best advice, look for the National Weather Service logo, National Hurricane Center, or NOAA logos on graphics that you see, because those are going to come from official sources, and very few people plagiarize that or put the logo on there and then call it their own. So I don't worry about that too much. I do worry about people marking up maps and sharing them without any context. So always look for those sort of key points. Hurricane Pro and HD are posting that kind of information regularly, so you can tap into that and make sure you look for that official information to help you make the best judgment call possible as this system approaches. Hopefully, for the sake of simplicity, it'll become a tropical storm here by 5 o'clock Eastern, and we can call it Hermine, which is what the name will be, and it'll just be better to deal with, I think, that way than Tropical Depression 9. It's just getting old. Either, do something or go away, and we have definitely had this pesky system around for far too long, but it looks like the next 72 hours is what's going to sort of tell the tale here of what happens for Florida, at least in the northeast Gulf side, and then we really do have to watch what happens once this gets into the Atlantic. Interesting days ahead. All right, well, that's it for me for today. Again, a lot going on. I'm heading down to Florida starting tomorrow morning. I will be posting video blogs to Hurricane Pro in HD from the road, giving you what information I can as I travel. And then from the area along the Nature Coast and the Big Bend, Horseshoe Beach, Cedar Key area, between there, Gainesville, and Lake City will be the region that I will be in, setting up equipment and posting videos and Twitter pictures and videos, etc., to do my best to cover this once it makes landfall up in the region. Have a great rest of your Tuesday afternoon. I am Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack.com and for Hurricane Pro and HD. I'll talk to you while I'm on the road in Florida.